Hey guys, Luke here from Mix It Up 1108, and welcome back to another Minecraft video, where today we are going to be restarting the Tips and Tricks Minecraft series that I had, and I have not done in about a year. So, what a perfect time to restart the series than the brand new 1.19 update, the Wild update. There's been a lot of things added in this update, and I'm going to go over everything pretty briefly. The main part of this update will be in the Skulk, or the Ancient Cities, where I will be telling you about how to survive against the Warden, which is no easy or simple task. It's the same thing. And I barely managed to beat the Warden on a stream that I did, but before we get there, let's talk about everything in the update. So first, we're going to talk about frogs. So this is one of the three types of frogs. This one spawns in the swamps and plains. I don't have the other two frogs with me because I would need to go to a desert and snow biome, but they have white and green versions of the frogs. The green one spawns in the snowy areas, and the white one spawns in the desert areas. To find frogs in the wild, you will either just find frogs, or you will find their tadpoles. They come from these little eggs, and you can pick up a tadpole with a bucket just like you would any other fish. These tadpoles will eventually grow into this kind of frog, because we're in a plains swamp area. Oh, and the eggs just hatched, and now we have a bunch of baby tadpoles. So the tadpoles have different stages. There's the bigger ones and the smaller ones. I don't know that much about the tadpoles other than that they will eventually grow into frogs. Also, when the frogs eat a slime or a magma cube, which are the two things that they will eat, they drop one of these. These are frog lights. They drop these as like a waste product, and you can use them to brighten up your home. Each frog does a different one. So the yellow frog does the orange frog does the yellow light. The wintry green frog does the green one, and the desert one does the purple one. And then the other part of the update that is for the overworld are the mangroves and the swamps. So here are all the different mangrove blocks. We have slabs, planks, fences, the propagules, which are the same as the saplings, and this is what a tree, well, we'll see an entire swamp. But this tree came from one of the propagules. These can be placed in water just like the drip leaves. Then we have the stairs, the actual logs, which people have been saying looks a lot like meat. These are the roots. So when you see a tree, it will have the roots coming up to it, which we will again see in the swamp. Button, pressure plate. These are muddy roots. Mud is a brand new block, which we should also be able to see in the mangrove area. You can make like baked mud, and this will basically be, if you know what adobe is, it's bricks. So you can build things out of the mud. Then we have the door, which I like their doors. It's unique. It's kind of like a fancier oak door, but red. It's a lighter red. It's a different purpley red than the nether wood red. The stripped logs and wood, the leaves, and the trapdoor I think is my favorite. It's the most unique. Sign and boat. So everything is mangrove wood. It's awesome. My favorite part of the update, besides the ancient cities and the warden, has got to be the chest with boats. These were a part of a Minecraft Alive vote. The swamp update was one of the options, and along with that came chest boats. So they're the same as regular boats, except you can't have a passenger, and when you get into the boat, you can open your inventory, and you will have a chest in there, and voila. The mangrove sapling thing, the propagule, is in there. And if you break the boat, the chest items come out. So that's it for the mangrove blocks. Let's actually go see what a mangrove swamp will look like. So we teleport myself. I'll give you guys the seed afterwards. So welcome to a mangrove swamp. Here's all of the mud, the roots. So as you guys can see, the roots come up, and they basically lead up to where the logs are. There's propagules everywhere. Some mud. There's no muddy pigs, which I think is a real oversight. We may not have Minecraft Earth anymore, but I do think muddy pigs should still be added to the game. And these swamps are huge. The trees are awesome looking, and they have a ton of vines. They have all sorts of things, and it's basically the entire terrain is mud. What's down here? Yeah, So this is just what a mangrove swamp will look like. They are so rare. I mean, if you have a world and you've completed all the achievements, and now you have to go back and get the adventure one where you have to find all the biomes, good luck with this one. The place, they're so rare, the mangrove swamps, and I don't know why. But they're very beautiful if you do find one. And if you spawn in one, I'd definitely make your house here because, I mean, they're rare and they're really cool looking. As for the mud, these are the different mud blocks. So we have mud wall, the packed mud, mud brick wall, whatever. These are all the mud bricks. This is what packed mud is. I believe you get this by either crafting a bunch of mud together or smelting it. Don't know for sure. And if you guys want any clarification, please leave a question in the comments below. I will try my best to answer them. This stuff is probably going to be not your main focus in the new update, the mud stuff. I personally am really excited to build with it. Excuse my dog. But, I know that a lot of people, this is not their first, like, oh, hey, we're going to build a house, so we got to get mud. I guess this means that we should go to our next place. The big reveal of the wild update. The deep dark. So I've given us night vision. This is the deep dark. Or the ancient cities. Whatever you want to call it. This is where the warden spawns. It is very far underground. We are currently at -17 on this mine shaft. Now, if you have been completely in the dark and have no idea about anything to do with the Warden and the Skulk and anything like that, this is your video. Skulk is a block that is naturally found down here in the ancient cities. It will also spawn if a mob or player dies next to a Skulk catalyst, which will, when a mob dies, instead of giving you XP, the mob will turn into Skulk and Skulk veins. You can then mine the Skulk and whatever for XP. You might be wondering why I've been sneaking around a bunch, if you have no idea about anything to do with the Warden and everything, and the Skulk and the ancient cities. And it is because your footsteps, your placing of blocks, everything makes a noise in Minecraft. And those noises get received by the Skulk sensor and the Skulk Shrieker. Mostly by the Skulk sensor, which sends a signal to any other Skulk blocks. And it's not that big of a deal. You could just sneak around and do everything. But you can also use carpet, because placing carpet or wool does not make any noise, and walking on it also does not make any noise. But if I was to place, let's say, I don't know, the mangrove propagule, can't place that there. If I was to place something like, I don't know, dirt, that sets off the Skulk sensor. If I went over here, and let's find it. Oh my god, there's a lot of fish. Don't know what happened here. You can see that all of these are being set off by the water, but also if we landed and walked around, that's setting them off. There's no streakers right by them, so that's why there's no screaming. So that's the first part of the deep dark, is the noise. I don't know exactly the range. I know that the further away that you are, the worse the signal is. But definitely you want to have a good bit of carpet and or wool with you. So I guess I should bring us to some of the crafting recipes of the new update. The main two that I know of are to do with the deep dark. In the deep dark, in the chests, you can find all of these music disc fragments. And if you collect 9 of them, you can craft a brand new music disc. This is disc 5. It's an interesting disc. I'd suggest giving it a listen. I'm not going to do it right now. When we get back to the surface, maybe. But you need to search all of these chests to get the disc fragments, and then finally you can craft the disc fragments into a music disc. Then there is one of my favorite items, besides the chest boats, which is the recovery compass. Hello, sir. Now, a recovery compass does exactly what it sounds like. If you die and you have a recovery compass at home, the compass will point to your last death point. I have not died, so this compass doesn't point to anywhere. But in these chests at the ancient cities, you will find echo shards. If you surround 8 echo shards around a compass, you will get a recovery compass. The echo shards are really rare. I can't really stress that enough. It is going to be so hard for you to get a recovery compass, and that is the point. I mean, it's an overpowered item. So I guess that should bring us to our big bad and also amazing place, the ancient cities and the warden. So here is the ancient city. It's like a open stronghold, I guess. It's quite literally a city underground. It's got a bunch of carpet and wool everywhere so that you don't have to completely crouch the entire way, but there are also a lot of patches of no wool or carpet. These things are massive, and if it weren't for my night vision, you wouldn't be able to really see anything. There's occasional candles and soul lanterns, but there is not any really big light sources. You want to be kind of careful because opening chests make noise. Now, the best way, obviously, to counter this is to surround the chest in wool. I don't know if that was obvious to everybody, but this is the best way to do it. Now, in some cases like this, you can't surround every part of the chest, so you just kind of have to hope. This one has 5 disc fragments in it, and some bottles of enchanting. They have upped the loot a little bit. It's still not the best loot in the entire game. And I don't know if all of this skulk will give you XP or not. I think it's only skulk that comes from animals or players dying. I could be wrong, though. These sensors can be used for redstone, if you didn't know that, but you need to be careful, because they are what transmit noise to the Shriekers. We'll get to the Shriekers in a little bit. You know how I was talking about the echo shards being rare? We just found 6 in one chest, so I may take that back. Everything makes a noise. I don't think that there's a warden nearby, which is why the Shriekers are not inviting him. But that's the point of the Shriekers. So I guess I should get to the warden and talking about what it does while we go around looting some of these chests. The warden gets summoned by these Shriekers. So if you're making too much noise and you're near Shriekers and skulk sensors, and you're near where a warden might spawn, you will summon him. Here he is. He is the most overpowered mob in the game. I have no doubts about it. There is nothing to say that he isn't. He may not be able to see you, but he can smell you, which means that he can still follow you. He has an overpowered range attack that has basically no cooldown, and his hits are insane. As in, basically 2 or 3 shots, you're dead. 3 if you have full protection, 1 maybe if you have nothing. And he has a ton of health. I don't know how to see the warden's health, but just know that it's a lot more than you may be expecting. So again, in these chests, you'll get all sorts of stuff. Oh my god, there can be multiple wardens. I didn't realize that, but yes, there can be multiple wardens at a time. So now we have 2 wardens on the hunt, but we're in creative mode, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, these chests have pretty good loot, I'd say. Much better than when they were first testing the warden. So there's a few ways to survive against him. Number 1, run. Just run away. That's the first way to deal with him, is to just get out. Second way, if you've been sneaking around a bunch and you have a ton of wool, break all of the Shriekers. That is a sure way to make sure that no wardens can ever spawn on your watch. But if you really want to fight him, how do you beat him? Well, Mojang has done a very good job at making it almost impossible to beat the warden. As in, I've gone to max height with a hole down to the lowest point in the world, and he has not died. I've blown up the warden with over 1,000 TNT, and he has not died. The warden only died when I had max protection armor, a basically impossible sword, and 28 enchanted golden apples for regeneration. He is terrifying. Hey, buddy. So you want to fight the warden? I can't really help you. The main way that I can suggest surviving against him is by running. If you want to defeat him, maybe he's lava resistant, by the way, so you can't just burn him. You need to figure out some way to trap him and suffocate him. I don't know how you're going to do this. I don't know where you're going to do this. But somehow you need to get up a massive tower and suffocate the warden. I have no suggestions of how to beat him, really, other than maybe be fast. If you are able to outrun the warden's ranged attack, you absolutely have a chance of escaping him. It's unlikely you're going to be able to do that. If you can outrun him and figure out some way, because I don't believe the warden regenerates, some way to continuously hurt him and also get out of the way of his attacks, that's how you defeat the warden. But Mojang has made it pretty clear that they don't want you to kill the warden, and that it's impossible to do so. There's a lot of cool stuff in this update besides the warden, and I know that some people are really disappointed that things like archaeology are in it, or fireflies. Be happy with what we have. I am super happy that we have the warden, even if it is late and whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that I helped you a little bit understand what is actually in the update. And if you have any questions, again, please just put it in the comments. I will try to answer any questions that you guys have. I will be streaming more Minecraft, 5 Nights at Freddy's, and other stuff. So consider subscribing as well. Thank you for watching.